Alright, so we have a former Khabib and his own training partner being sentenced to 28 years in prison for those attacks that happened in Russia. I think around a year and a half ago, somewhere like that. But I don't have much time. I've been wickedly busy over the last week and a half, I'd say. But I want to record this video, get this uploaded quick, and yeah, this is um this is definitely something. Islam Makachev's alleged training partner sentenced to 28 years in prison for unaliving someone. Islam Makachev's alleged training partner has been found guilty of unaliving and will spend the next 28 years in prison. There has been development in an ongoing terrorism investigation that has resulted in a 28-year prison sentence for a man allegedly linked to UFC ace what Islam Makhachev. I hate this for Islam, and I know I'm doing it with this video, but again, if you go back to what Khabib said before, this guy barely trained with him. But again, he's still trained there, so it's going to be a headline. Why am I complaining though? I'm using the headline. While it's unclear whether the criminal has any ties to the former UFC lightweight king, Makhachev himself hasn't always avoided controversy as far as many fighters have done in the past. The 33-year-old receives backlash from some fans when when posing for a picture with Chechen dictator Ramzan Kadyrov. Again, why are we going after him for taking pictures, man? I have a whole rant I'm gonna add on to that. However, Israel Makachev could find himself under unwanted spotlight after a man who is rumored to be a training partner was sentenced to 28 years in prison. Lambert Akidov is a 14-fight MMA veteran who will now be serving almost 30 years of his life behind bars. Akidov was convicted on several charges. Three of the most notorious was unaliving, man. And obviously, I'm not gonna link the videos on, for obvious reasons. There were videos of what happened, and they were horrific. Look at what they did to the priest. Look up what they did to the priest. Just read it. Just read it. Don't go out for a video. Trust me, you don't want to watch it. But yeah. The most notorious was the unaliving of an officer of the Moscow Administrative Road Inspectorate. Akadov reportedly took the victim's life by stabbing him at least 15 times. The Maddie inspector was mistaken for a police officer as the MMA fighter allegedly attempted to steal the man's firearm to execute his plans free on New Year's Eve. Oh, so this isn't even okay. This is a different one. Oh. During the trial, the Grozny native and his legal team took the mental illness route. Akinov hoped to persuade the judge that he was forced to commit these heinous crimes by din an Islamic spirit and refused to plead guilty to his actions. Psychiatric evaluation took place, and after two contradicting reports, the Russian was deemed sane. No wonder. I'm not okay. I'm gonna get a lot of heat here. We know that religion is used in trials by a lot of people trying to get off of a lot of Diddy, right? Diddy, praying to God, all that stuff. Now he may well be a believer, believer. He may go to church. I'm sorry, when you do that, which I'm not even gonna get into it. That is a whole other video. I wanted to comment on the Diddy case, where I feel like I'd piss everybody off. But this is a different topic. This is a serious topic. Um, per the court ruling, per the court ruling, Lambert Akadov will spend 7 years in a prison facility before being relocated to a 21-year confinement in high security penal colony. A penal colony. Penal, oh my god. Oh, my brain is not working right now. Whatever. At 35 years old, I get off. Will never compete in mixed martial arts. Yeah, no shit. There's the Instagram post of what we just read. So, when you look at this, right, you look at the title. Now, I'm not going to get into radicalization. I don't want to get into a religion war. I don't want to bring up anything here. I'm going to say this, though, and I've seen it firsthand with a dear friend of mine. Religion is a very powerful thing when it's put to good, when it's put to practical use. You know, praying to God, working hard, going out, doing your job, providing for your family, taking care of your family, right? Having God there or any kind of spiritual being is a really big necessity. One quick, one second. I need to um oh okay. Anyways, got to I gotta wrap this up quick. But back to what I was saying. Um, with religion, right? And where there we go. Where, a lot of people, including myself, they find religion in very desperate times, right? Where, you know, they're at their wits' end. They went through a tragic loss. They went through this, they went through that. A lot of the time, that's when people go to God. And the whole thing of, oh, people only pray to God when they need Him. And that is a sad part. And it's how we true, or, all of us that believe are guilty of it. But again, with radicalism, my buddy who's Catholic, love him to death, known him since, elementary. If he needed anything, and if you called my phone, 100% I would help him any way I can. But the problem with him is he doesn't go outside. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have priorities. He doesn't go to the gym. He only goes to church, right? And what happens then is that people become desperate for an answer. And what drives every human is ego, right? Being the best. And it's natural, right? So when you're going to church, right? And I'm not saying this is you, but there are people who get into it and they want to better themselves and they want to be better than others. And then that's where the whole religion war comes in of, oh, well, you believe this, I believe this. Fuck you. Like, it's ridiculous. You know, even if you believe the same thing, right? Um, I don't know. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. for something that's supposed to answer the question of why we are here. I don't like how it causes the division it does. Because again, at the end of the day, everybody's gonna hate to hear it. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. We don't know what book is right. We don't know if there's somebody up there, somebody below us, somebody in the center of the earth. Like, it's only searching for an answer. But like, you look at Islam, you look at Khabib, right? They practice Muslim. They're not out here being radical. They are very respectful. Khabib, Islam, the biggest thing with their group, respect above all. But you know, you're always gonna have those people who come into your circle, especially in MMA, right? MMA, you're training at a gym, you're constantly having this guy come in, this guy leave, these guys come in for a little bit, this guy ends up leaving and goes to a different camp and then comes back. We know what it is, right? But for them, right, it's this guy wasn't in their, immediate group. They weren't in. They probably weren't in. The group that Khabib Islam, after they're done training, goes out to get to eat. Right. I don't think this guy. Maybe they had a few dinners with them, but again, like right? You have your coworker that you're really good with, that you spend time away from work with, and then you have these other guys who come in and maybe get closed off. Maybe you don't want to, make a brand new relationship there. Your distance. You're nice for your distance. That's kind of what I think happened with Islam and Khabib. But again, it's a small world, man. It's a small world. You never know what people are capable of. But yeah, dude. I feel so bad for Islam and Khabib right now. I feel so bad for that whole team because they don't need this. They don't need this headline, and they're good people. That's the thing I want to end with. You know, you are who you hang out with. It's true, but that doesn't mean you don't have the ability of being an individual, having your own morals. You don't need to be monkey see, monkey do. Maybe you look well, you look right when other people look right. Maybe you think something's bullshit when everybody else is so fixated on it. I sound like an old man right now, but like you get what I'm getting at, right? Like I don't want people to go shit on Islam. I don't want people to make it a religion more, even though I know both these things will happen. But again, man, it's a small world. You never know what people are capable of. But yeah, I'm glad that this piece of shit will rot away in a prison cell for the next 30 years. He will be getting out at 60, 50 around there. He'll still be physically mobile. Um, 50 isn't that old, depending on, how age treats him. But, yeah, let me know what do you think about this former teammate of Khabib and Islam getting sentenced for murder and terrorism. I'm gonna say it at the end here because why not? I gotta go though. Let me know what you think. Love you guys. Thank you.